Because of Winn-Dixie, Chapter 13. Me and Winn-Dixie got into a daily routine where we would leave the trailer early in the morning and get down to Gertrude's Pets in time to hear Otis play his guitar music for all the animals. Sometimes Sweetie Pie snuck in for the concert, too. She sat on the floor and wrapped her arms around Winn-Dixie and rocked him back and forth like he was a big old teddy bear. And then, when the music was over, she would walk around trying to pick out which pet she wanted. But she always gave up and went home, because the only thing she really wanted was a dog like Winn-Dixie. After she was gone, I would sweep and clean up and even arrange some of Otis's shelves, because he did not have an eye for arranging things, and I did. And when I was done, Otis would write down my time in a notebook that he had marked on the outside, 1 red leather collar, 1 red leather leash. And the whole time he did not in any way ever act like a criminal. After working at Gertrude's Pets, me and Winn-Dixie would go over to the Herman W. Block Memorial Library and talk to Miss Franny Block and listen to her tell us a story. But my favorite place to be that summer was in Gloria Dump's yard. And I figured it was Winn-Dixie's favorite place to be too, because when we got up to the last block before her house, Winn-Dixie would break away from my bike and start to run for all he was worth, heading for Gloria Dump's backyard and his spoonful of peanut butter. Sometimes Dunlap and Stevie Dewberry would follow me. They would holler, "There goes the preacher's daughter, visiting the witch." "She's not a witch," I told them. It made me mad the way they wouldn't listen to me and kept on believing whatever they wanted to believe about Gloria Dump. One time, Stevie said to me, "My mama says you shouldn't be spending all your time cooped up in the pet shop and at the library, sitting around talking with old ladies. She says you should get out in the fresh air and play with kids your own age. That's what my mama says." "Oh, lay off her, Dunlap," said to Stevie. Then he turned to me. "He don't mean it," he said. But I was already mad. I shouted at Stevie. I said, "I don't care what your mama says. She's not my mama, so she can't tell me what to do." "I'm going to tell my mama you said that," shouted Stevie, "and she'll tell your daddy, and he'll shame you in front of the whole church. And that pet shop man is retarded, and he was in jail, and I wonder if your daddy knows that." Now, I have to stop right here for just a second and talk about that word, because in school we always talk about not using the R word. That word is retarded. Back in time, that word had a meaning, and it was not a bad meaning. It was just the meaning of someone who was held back, usually mentally. Okay? Usually it was someone who had special learning abilities. Okay? Now, when he was saying this, who was it, Stevie? When Stevie was saying that, I think he was being honest. I think he was saying that Otis was mentally held back, okay? But today, in the year 2020, we don't use that term anymore, okay? We haven't used that for a long time. Today, when somebody uses it, they're usually being very hateful and talking very ugly, and they're trying to put someone down, okay, instead of just describe a medical condition. So we don't use that word anymore. This book was written a long time ago, and it was written about a time that was even further back than that. So I don't want you to think, "Oh my goodness, Miss Adkins is reading something bad to me." It helps you kind of understand the time period that this was written, words that they would use that we wouldn't use today. It helps get that setting straight. Also, it's telling us a little bit about what others thought about Otis. Okay? A couple of things he said there. He called him the R word, meaning that he was something was mentally special about him. And he also said that he had been in jail. Oh my, we've got to read on and find out more. Otis is not retarded, I said, and my daddy knows that he was in jail. That was a lie, but I didn't care. And you can go ahead and tell on me if you want, you big old bald-headed baby. I swear it about wore me out yelling at Dunlap and Stevie Dewberry every day. By the time I got to Gloria Dump's yard, I felt like a soldier who had been fighting a hard battle. Gloria would make me a peanut butter sandwich straight off, and then she would pour me a cup of coffee with half coffee and half milk, and that would refresh me. Why don't you play with them boys? Gloria asked me. Because they're ignorant, I told her. They still think you're a witch. It doesn't matter how many times I tell them that you're not. I think they're just trying to make friends with you in a roundabout way, Gloria said. I don't want to be their friend, I said. It might be fun having them two boys for friends. I'd rather talk to you, I said. They're stupid and mean, and they're boys. Gloria would shake her head.